I have recently played a best of 5 series versus MaxPax in the OSC mid-season playoffs winter bracket semifinals, a best of 5 series versus MaxPax, and I want to share this series with you because I'm quite happy with how it all turned out. I want to show you my perspective on this series, how I approached it, what I saw, what I thought I'm going to do, and what I should do. And the first map is going to be played on side Delta. I immediately snuck in a probe behind the MaxPax to get myself a cheeky nexus before MaxPax can block it, because MaxPax always does this, where he goes, scouts with the first probe, goes to the main base, checks for your gases, but I actually cut one of my probes to get myself a faster nexus, to get myself slight advantage over MaxPax in the early game. Now on the other side of the map, I'm trying to block his nexus for as long as possible because he's going for one gate expand, and since this is a 1 gate expand map, side Delta is a map with a ramp going up to the natural, and MaxPax is very comfortable with playing 1 gate expand, especially on maps like this. That's why I decided to go for this kind of a nexus faster, to try to get myself an edge over MaxPax economy for at least, you know, the first set of games, because I know MaxPax is the stronger, the better player, so I need to get myself some kind of an edge. Now, what I know that MaxPax likes to do as a response to this build that I'm going for, the faster nexus, he likes to go for this kind of like a shield battery rush with a pylon into the wall off. And I was expecting this. I wasn't too worried about it. I immediately went with a zealot to start killing the shield batteries that are building. In the meantime, I'm trying to scout with the probe. What is he actually doing in the meantime? If he's actually expanding or making a Stargate, more gateways or whatever. Most of the time, MaxPax does follow this up with a Stargate, with an Oracle, and so on. I made sure that I plugged in my wall of here with this second gateway. And I see a nexus already with this second gateway, so there's no hole here, so the zealot cannot walk through. And the zealot is actually attacking the gateway, my probes are attacking the batteries, there's only one battery here, so I'm not too worried whatsoever. Unfortunately for me, during all this chaos that I'm trying to defend, I lost my probe on the other side of the map. I think it was to an adept, but I wasn't paying close attention to that, but I think it was another second adept. And I didn't get to see what the tech choice is going to be from MaxPax. 99% of the time there's an Oracle flying in somewhat soon. So I need to take care of this zealot. I'm making a battery in my middle line. Note that I'm still only on single gas in the main base because there's so much chaos happening with this attack. But I'm feeling quite confident in this defense. So far, I lost almost nothing. I made a full wall with the gateways. I killed a bunch of batteries and a pylon, and I'm expecting an Oracle to fly into my main base anytime soon. So I'm also investing into the additional stalkers right now from my gateways to make sure that I can cover both of my middle lines with the stalkers to prevent myself from taking damage from an Oracle. I really like what MaxPax is doing here, just putting so much pressure with these adepts and a zealot. He cannot kill this wall off properly, but he's finding some value, knowing that I'm afraid of an Oracle. So he actually finds value with these adepts and killing the shield battery, where he's not supposed to. Also note that this is a full wall off in here, so I actually cannot come back with these two stalkers. It is a very greedy move that I did right here, because if there was an Oracle flying into my natural base right now, I would have absolutely zero defense here to deal with that, because all of my defense is in the main base already. But since there was no first Oracle flying in at the usual time that MaxPax does, I thought maybe he's either banking 2 Oracles at the same time or doing something else. But I was still expecting 2 Oracles to show up anytime soon. And I need to be careful about that, because I have no confirmation on that. I only need to suspect that. In the meantime, I'm going for a Twilight Council. My frigates are about to finish. Time to warp in some units. I think I'm okay in this game. I think the beginning was looking fine. The one thing that I'm worried about is that I have invested a lot into the Oracle defense, and I have not made any kind of like tech choice before that, because I was investing into the defense versus the Oracle. So my Twilight Council is late, my Blink is late, but I killed lots of stuff. So I'm not feeling too bad in this game. Time to get a Robo, in case this is DTs, because I still haven't seen an Oracle whatsoever. This is what I was expecting. So Robo here for potentially dealing with the Dark Templars. I have lots of stalkers. I had frigate production for a little bit. Time to scout around the base, because I know what MaxPax likes to do is also a proxy gateway. Trying to punish you when you're going for the third base. This is something that I like to do myself a lot. And MaxPax is already here. And I see the proxy gateway with the zealot. Right now, I'm like, holy shit, this is not good. MaxPax, when he moves that with his stalkers, he already has blink. My blink is only halfway done, and I have no battery here. But I'm like, okay, I have lots of Stalkers here, and I actually confirmed that he has Blink here with the Stalker. But without the battery here, I am in not the greatest position because I cannot split my Stalkers versus these Adepts. And MaxPax really out-multitasks me with the Blink and the Adepts. If I have a battery ready here, if I was anticipating this move a bit sooner, this would have been a better trade for me. But I was being a greedy boy, think that MaxPax is going to be staying defensive, taking a third base. And I was going to be the one trying to do the move that MaxPax is doing to me. But he arrives here faster, because he skipped the Oracle by the looks of things, and he went straight into the Twilight Council, and he arrives with Blink much faster than I did. My gateways are unpowered, I still have no battery in the main base. I have an Immortal, which should be able to drive MaxPax away, but I still am missing a lot of my production cycles with the Warp Gates, and I'm of course being supply blocked in the meantime. Time to warp in another Immortal, or well, start producing the second Immortal. I see MaxPax has a lot of Stalkers here. My battery finally finishes in the natural, but the main threat of the attack is already done. So now I have to make a decision. Do I expand and play a longer game? Or do I make use of the Immortals that I will have? Probably an advantage of Immortals over MaxPax, and try to go for it with an attack. Because despite MaxPax actually attacking me, here I did not lose that much of my economy. So I thought I might have an advantage over him, because I constantly kill some of these Adepts. I already have a lot of money. So my only chance probably to win this game is to go for a big attack with lots of gateways, because the longer the game goes, the worse it's going to be, because I know behind this MaxPax is probably going for a third base already, if it's not already done. So I'm deciding to add additional more gateways and try to move across the map with the army soon as it's ready, to go for one final push to make use of the 3 Immortals that are going to be extremely useful versus the Stalker count of MaxPax. MaxPax is definitely doing a great job here by just seeing what I'm doing, controlling where my army is at. I decide to go for the proxy gateway to snipe the pylons, so to make sure that there's no proxy DT or adepts shading in at the same time that I'm attacking him. Time to make a full wall of, but this wall of has seen some stuff. I could have done it a bit better, but it's time to move out with the Warp Prism. I think I have like 7 gateways or something. MaxPax is poking me, and I need to protect this Warp Prism at all costs. Notice how I have this Warp Prism at the bottom of my army, so I know he cannot really blink under it. Okay, time to warp in some units. I have lots of money, so I'm a bit afraid that my Warp Prism is gonna get sniped. I don't have high ground vision here, so I need to actually go to the left side with the Warp Prism, and I lose a couple of units, as MaxPax is really making sure that I waste as much time as possible on these Stalkers. My army is sick. I think I have a very strong army here. Stalkers of MaxPax are a bit out of position. I blink forward, snipe the super battery, but I lost a sentry in the meantime. So I'm running out of force field, out of guardian shield, but I think I can maybe break him here. I still have 3 immortals here. MaxPax's immortal is bruised. I cannot snipe it, but I blink forward and die. I do snipe it after that. There are zealots coming in from behind. There's one more immortal coming from the left side. MaxPax is flanking me from all of these sides. I cannot really micro properly with the Warp Prism as I send it forward with a little mistake. And MaxPax is sending all of his units forward, and he defends with charge right now. And I thought this attack was my only chance to win. I thought I have a chance with this, maybe if I micro it a bit better, but I lost a sentry behind this, and this is how MaxPax wins game number 1. And game number 2 is going to be played on Nightshade. It's one of the older maps. I think MaxPax might not even be familiar with this map. He's probably familiar right now, but I think he hasn't played on this map when it was actually in the ladder map pool. Anyway, obviously, tournaments just add these maps for the kind of diversity of the map pool. Not the biggest of deals. And, you know, game number 1 was kind of straightforward, but I already started to think, hey, MaxPax is switching it up a bit. I was expecting an Oracle opening because that's what MaxPax does every single time, but he skipped the Oracle, so I was thinking maybe he's going to be switching it up more. But I still lost in a kind of a standard game. MaxPax just outplayed me, so I'm going to be going crazy from now on. I know he's going to be going for 1 gate expand, or at least I'm suspecting that, unless he's going to be changing this this thing that he's doing for years and years. But I see already 1 gateway, double gas, chrono boost on his nexus, so I know there's going to be a second pylon somewhat soon for him, and I need to think of a way to break him. But for now, I have not figured this one out. There's a probe scouting me around. I'm just making sure that I see the second pylon in his main base, and I do, so I just confirm this is a 1 gate expand map. I know the timings that the Nexus is going to be going down, so I just try to... Oh, I actually got this probe. Ah, yes, I got this probe. I got this probe, and I saw that MaxPax is a bit flustered, and he cannot know what I'm doing right now. So, I'll be doing this, a very cute mind game right here. I forgot that he lost this probe. So this is going to be a very cute mind game that I'm going to be doing now. I'm saving Chrono Boost on my Nexus, because his probe got killed. He has no scouting on this whatsoever. So I saved double Chrono Boost on my Nexus, and I'm going to be using the Chrono Boost on my Cybernetics core to speed up the Warp Gate process. Now, what I'm doing right now is I'm blocking MaxPax's Nexus with this pylon, and I'm giving MaxPax's information, hey, I don't want you to expand because I'm expanding behind this. I want to be economically ahead, just like in game number 1 when I actually sneaked in a Nexus right in front. I'm actually going back with the probe to make a second pylon to make sure that the proxy pylon forward is not being spotted. I'm drawing the Adept away from the actual proxy pylon. And my mindset right here is, I want to kill you, MaxPax. I don't want to expand behind this whatsoever. I'm committing to an attack. But I'm giving him a story that I'm blocking his Nexus because I want to be economically ahead. I'm trying to hand down this Adept, but this Adept very luckily, or maybe luckily, maybe unluckily for me, he actually snipes the probe that was meant to make a proxy gateway. And this probe actually gives MaxPax information that I want to do a proxy, because why the hell would I have a probe going to the other side of the map? But one thing that I have to note is that MaxPax has not seen this proxy pylon. If we look at the proxy, at the MaxPax's vision, he haven't spotted this proxy pylon that I'm doing right, where is it? Right here. And because he killed that probe, I think there's a good chance he thought there's a no proxy pylon right there, because my previous probe was blocking his expansions with double pylon right here. So there's a good chance he misjudged the situation that there's no proxy pylon on the other side of the map. I'm poking with the double Stalker. This is very standard, but I get very good damage on both the Stalker and the Zealot. MaxPax decides to go in with the Oracle. This is also a very common move. But at this point, because the Stalker is so bruised, I just decide to trade for the Oracle, and as I kill the Oracle and damage the Stalker even further, I'm feeling good about my chances in this game. I have my gateways finishing. The only problem I have is that I don't have a forward gateway to have faster warpins. And because I have only 3 gateways and the 4th potential gateway was denied by the Adept, I'm going for a Twilight Council in the meantime. There should be a Void Ray coming up from MaxPax soon, so I need to be careful how I poke with my Stalkers, not to make sure that I don't lose the Stalker for free. Now, the thing that MaxPax doesn't see the proxy pilot, he's not expecting as many Stalkers as I had. He only sees this one, and there's one more coming from behind. And that gives me enough DPS to actually burst through the Void Ray of MaxPax, and I kill the injured Stalker, and this is the best early game that I could hope for here. As we kill the Void Ray, Zealot, and the Stalker, I walk forward, snipe the wall off, and I walk into his main base like it's my main base, but there's still a second Void Ray, but I see there's no battery in his main base, so there's a good chance I'll be able to break through this Void Ray if I can just move forward and snipe it with the last Stalker shot, and there's nothing MaxPax can do anymore here. And with a little bit of mind games, we win game number 2, so the series is tied 1-1. Game number 3 will be played on Golden, or a very defensive map. MaxPax likes this map, I think, because he can go for 1 gate expand more safely on this than any other map, I feel like. But this is where mind games are going to be happening yet again in this series, since this is 1-1. And I want to do a little trick on MaxPax, and I understand how he's scouting, and I hope this is going to work. I haven't tested it. This is the first time that I'm going to be doing this versus MaxPax, but this is me figuring out the way that my opponent has played throughout the series and how I managed to start the series. So what I'll be doing right here is I'm gonna be faking out a build that I did in game number 1 with a Nexus with 1 gate expand. But what I'm really doing is making a proxy second gateway. So I'll explain this in just a moment, in just like 15 seconds, the exact mind game. So this is the fake. The scouting of MaxPax is going to be happening in just a moment. He usually arrives at around 1:15. There he is. And now what MaxPax sees, he sees the exact same thing that he sees in game number 1. He sees me having 50 chronobles saved up. He sees that I have no second gas right here. And that I have only 1 gateway. So what he thinks, or what he should think, that's what I'm trying to make him think, is that this is going to be a Nexus happening in my natural in just a moment. So what MaxPax does, he immediately goes back with the probe to block my potential nexus. I'm going with this probe, not with that intention that I want to make a nexus, I don't have the money for it anyway, but with the intention to see, oh my god, oh no, you blocked my nexus, I'm playing from behind right now because my opening is countered. In the meantime, I'm also using the past history of my games versus MaxPax, where I didn't show my probe immediately, and I was actually patrolling my probe around his natural base to make sure that he doesn't go for a nexus earlier on. And in the meantime, I did go for the proxy gateway in the middle of the map. Now I think MaxPax knows something is going on because he moved in with the probe to my main base and he sees no second pylon. But no second pylon is not that uncommon in our matches versus MaxPax. I could be going for a proxy Stargate, proxy Robo or something, but this is the first time that he sees this probe with the Zealot, and I'm trying to buy as much time as possible with this probe to delay this Zealot from scouting around. Because what this Zealot can do is go to my proxy gateway and snipe the pylon before my stalkers are there to protect it. Luckily for me, I saw the Zealot of MaxPax going to the south, not to the right, and this was already a slight win for me. I go for the pylon to block the nexus of MaxPax to make sure that I force the Zealot to try killing the pylon. And kind of the same situation like in the previous game, where I'm trying to make sure that he thinks that I want to play economically, because he hasn't spotted the gateway, and we're blocking his nexus. So far he hasn't spotted the proxy gateway, now he sees this with the Adept, so the cards are already on the table, he knows exactly what's going on. But can he prepare for this? Because I already did what I wanted to do in this game, in this build, and I should have more units than usual, because it was unscouted for the longest time. MaxPax didn't go with the Adept on the other side of the map, even though I made a full wall to prepare for this. I also need to make sure that I prepare for the Oracle. Now, it's very important with the micro that I'm doing right now, is that I don't get hit by the Zealot, because it's the additional damage on the shields that I cannot regenerate quickly enough. So I go to the left side, try to type the battery. There's only a probe attacking my base, and look at this, I'm microing my stalkers to the best of my abilities to make sure that I don't get hit even once with the Zealot. I move forward to the stalkers, I snipe the batteries, and the Zealot is in a lot of trouble. I have warp gates already done, there's no battery in the natural base, the early game and the mind games have worked. Okay, there's the expected Oracle in my main base, but I do have a battery to prepare for this. I go up the ramp knowing that there should be no battery to make sure that I snipe the units that I have bruised briefly. I go into the main base, snipe the batteries one more time, the battery is saving me in the main base. There's the first Void Ray, I snipe the pylon right before the warp gate is done, so he cannot warp in additional units, and now just calm and collected. I defended the Oracle, I sniped his units, he only has a Void Ray right now. I cannot get surrounded by probes, and I should be Gucci in this game. There's the Void Ray on the high ground, the probes are just too little, I micro back slowly, he cannot warp in any more units, and the mind game worked yet again, 2-1 versus MaxPax, breaking his 1 gate expand defense. And game number 3 is going to be on Ghost River. Something that I have noticed throughout this series, and this is the preparation I was also thinking about, is that how MaxPax is building his first set of buildings. The actual gateway, the actual pylon, look at this, game number 2 and game number 3, they all have been the same, pylon and a gateway with one hole in between. That means I can block him from pulling the probes to defend the cannon rush. And since Ghost River is a good cannon rush map, since I know it from my cannon rush in Grandmaster series, I decided to go for cannon rush in game number 4 versus MaxPax. Notice how I went around with my probe to avoid the MaxPax's probe. So I get this probe up here. I see this wall off. I plug this in so he cannot pull his probes. And that's the preparation I was very happy with. So this is the start. The plan is working so far. Time to start the first cannon and a gateway on the low ground. Cannon is set up. I'm good. Now I cannot lose the probe on the high ground. It's only on 5 HP. There's a full wall off from MaxPax. I just need to save this probe. But the second probe cannot go up the ramp. The more probes are coming. I need to start doing something here, but very good micro from MaxPax. Snipes the probe on the high ground. And I'm not liking my position here, even though I have a cannon in range of the pylon. So okay, let's just full send it. Second cannon on the low ground, try to go for it. One thing that I'm also keeping in mind right now is that I spotted his scouting probe in the beginning of the game, and he already has a cybernetic score. So it's very likely that MaxPax is going to be responding to my cannon rush with a proxy Stargate, or just any kind of other proxy. So I'm scouting around with my probe. Since he doesn't have any stalkers yet here, I'm just going for a cannon, and I'm going to make a big mistake right here. I will not be able to cancel this cannon just in time, and I actually lost 150 minerals for this. It's a big deal in this situation because I need every single bit of minerals to survive in this game, since my opponent is defending the cannons pretty well so far. I spotted the proxy pylon with the probe on the other side of the map. The stalker's already there. Things are not going very well for me. The zealot is still in range of the cannon, but luckily for me, he actually stays with the zealot in range of the cannon and he loses the zealot, so there's less DPS. I sniped this assimilator, and right now I see, oh my goodness, there's the proxy Stargate. I have absolutely nothing versus this. I have no stalkers yet. I need to get rid of this proxy Stargate. I decide to pull some of these probes. And I also have a decision to make right now with the zealot that I'm doing on the other side of the map. Do I go? Sorry, I apologize. Do I go to the main base for the probes, or do I go with this zealot to the other side of the map trying to deal with this proxy Stargate? I decide to pull more probes, going for the Stargate, because I know he's going to be making more pylons. If I go for the pylons with the probes, he's going to just keep rebuilding pylons, so my only chance of defending this proxy Stargate is killing the Stargate itself. It's going to be close because I have only probes here, the zealot is nowhere to be seen. He starts chrono boosting out the Oracle or a Void Ray. I don't even pay attention to that, because I just need to kill this target no matter the unit. Luckily for me, MaxPax has been getting hit with the stalkers a bit, and in the meantime he also lost one of his stalkers to the cannons. So I know he's only one stalker here, and now it's the Stargate. Can the Oracle go out, or the Void Ray, Oracle Void Ray? I killed the Stargate right before the unit of the Stargate is out. So the decision to go with the Zealot here and pull more probes was absolutely perfect. And now MaxPax is locked in his main base. I still have a cannon here, I still have high ground vision, I have some stalkers here, but the game at least evened out after me sniping the Stargate. So I'm trying to control this game because of the help of the cannon. Trying to snipe the cybernetics core. The batteries are running out of energy. Please kill the cybernetics core. I don't kill the cybernetics core. The fresh battery just comes in and I don't get to deny his warp gate. However, MaxPax is quite slow and he loses this stalker. Now there's the super battery. I cannot go up, cannot break him. Just calm and collected right now. He lost a lot of stalkers already in this game, while I barely lost any. Now I need 4 stalkers to walk up the ramp confidently. The cannon is helping out a lot. He just used the battery overcharge. Hey, I noticed he has only a single pylon right here. Let's snipe it. The batteries are empty. He cannot really save it with his batteries. We go for the pylon even at the cost of the stalker. And now the Zealot is going for the Stalkers. The Stalkers is going to take a long time. We're going for the economy, since I didn't kill his economy for the longest time. So the Stalkers and Cannons are attacking the probes. We're killing lots of probes here, and I'm slightly getting ahead. The batteries are getting repowered, but I cannot really do much more here. Now I notice I still have 3 Stalkers here. I'm trying to hit the probes that are slightly outside of the range of the battery, right here and here. Look at this. Where are they? Oh, I already done that? No. Where is it? I was doing this. There we go. Now we're going to do this. We have 3 stalkers, so I'm hitting the probes outside of the battery range to make sure that they don't get healed up. I even sacrificed the stalker for this. I see the immortal is popping out. I have a Stargate on the other side of the map. But I think MaxPax spotted that this is a Stargate. But the game is okay for me. I think this was a successful challenge. I know I killed a lot of probes. I actually didn't even notice that I killed like 12 probes. That's a lot of probes that we killed. But now I need to prepare for the counterattack from MaxPax. I didn't delay his warp gate by a lot. I didn't get to kill his cybernetics core, right? So I need to prepare for a possible counterattack with him. I spotted that he has 2 gateways in a robo. And what I have is 4 stalkers, 0 gateways, and just 1 Stargate. And this is MaxPax that I'm playing against, so I need to honestly respect the skill level of the player. I have 0 production. I have only a single Stargate at home with a Phoenix to lift up the potential Immortal, so that's good for me, but I need to prepare some defenses for the potential counterattack of MaxPax. I know that my economy should be slightly higher than his at this stage of the game, so all I want to do right now is survive to go into the next stage of the game. I'm chrono boosting out the Void Ray in case he wants to attack me at the front. I'm moving in with the Phoenix here to spot for the Warp Prism, but MaxPax safely goes in with the Prism just to spot at what stage of the game he is. He spots my natural base being almost done, and he doesn't commit with the Immortal and the Warp Prism, knowing that I do have a Stargate on my side of the map, because he knows that I'm a smart player and I would just probably have a Phoenix there, and his Warp Prism and Immortal would be in trouble. I go for the robo, kind of playing like a mech Protoss here. 0 gateways, just robotics facility and a Stargate. You know, playing all of these YouTube series with crazy ass games really helped me in this game understand my what I want to do in here. This is going to be a very awkward situation. I see this observer. How do you not kill this observer? Tell me. How do I not kill this observer? I have 4 stalkers, Phoenix and a Void Ray flanking an observer, and I failed to click with my observer on his observer to follow it, and now I need to send extra APM to find this observer. I still see the shimmer on the right side of the map. I will eventually catch up to it, I think, because that's how the map works. He cannot run away, but it just gives him more time to see what I'm doing, and he spotted the gateways and my robotics facility and the Stargate and so on. But since right now I saw that MaxPax is not attacking me right now, I thought there's a good chance he just expanded behind this, and I can at least poke forward with 2 Void Rays and 4 Stalkers, knowing that I had a superior economy for some time, and I can at the very least just poke here and run if I feel that I'm in danger. So let's go here with the 2 Void Rays. Let's see what I can get done. Okay, a free pylon. He spots for my third base. I immediately plant it down. I lift the Stalker, and I get myself a little bit of value. I kill a Stalker and a pylon for nothing. I see his entire army is going to the main base, so I'm moving with the Stalkers to the natural. I have 4 Stalkers here. I can one-shot some probes, possibly. Let's see if I can pull him apart a bit. I bait him with the Observer to kill the Observer, and in the meantime I'm walking with the Stalkers to the natural base. At the same time I'm moving with the Voiders to the main base. MaxPax is not paying attention to his Warp Prism, and he actually loses the Warp Prism at the same time as the Voiders are dealing some damage to the probes in the main base. A lovely set of harassment, sending MaxPax even further behind than he already was. In the meantime, I have a third base on the way. I'm loving life right now. I'm getting a bit greedy right here. I thought the Stalker is slightly outside of the battery range. I tried to snipe 1 Stalker, but it doesn't work. I lose the Void Ray. I got a bit too greedy. I'm thinking right now that I don't have too many gateway units. I don't have too many gateways, so there's no way I can catch up to him with Stalker count. So I decide to go for Charge in the meantime. I'm not going for Blink first. I think I already have kind of like a counter to Blink that he's probably going for. So I have Immortals and Voids, but he's already attacking me. He probably has Blink already up. I have no batteries at my third base, and my Immortal is slightly exposed. I cannot get him up the ramp. Let him go up the ramp. He has some force fields here. I'm a bit afraid that I'll get force fields out, but I am having a very good position. He only has a single Immortal. I lit the Immortal, and now that I'm rewatching this fight, I could have lifted the Sentry with the second Phoenix right now, because he had 2 force. Actually, no, the force field was still persisting, so I couldn't go down the ramp. But it was a very good trade for me. And I have a third base untouched, so I'm loving life right now. I'm smelling the blood, because I know I just sniped a significant portion of MaxPax's army. Not only that, I also sniped some of his sentries, which would be crucial in defending the potential Zealot attack that I have in mind that I want to go for. Because I have the superior economy right now, it's going to be very hard for MaxPax to have a counter to the Zealots, which will be the force fields, Archons, or just, you know, lots of batteries. He cannot afford any of that, so I know the Zealot attack is going to be quite strong, especially since he has no force fields to buy time for the Zealots. I wait for the Warpism, warp in some more units. I have 3 bases fully saturated, making some cannons to make sure that I don't die to sneaky DTs or something. And I go for one last attack. I see his army. Let's take a look at his third base. It's not even done. So I'm like, okay, I have to go before he gets to the finished Nexus with a potential battery overcharge. This is my best chance scenario. I just go for it. I don't even wait for more Warpens. I live the Immortal, MaxPax GG's, and we win the series 3-1 at the last game with a freaking cannon rush, man. I was so happy to win this series because all the little details, all the little mind games worked for me in this favor. And I was very, very happy that it worked. Could I beat him again in a similar fashion? Probably not. But I'm happy that I got this one victory. MaxPax is a fantastic player, the better player than I am. All respect to him, but I will remember this victory for a long time, and I'm happy that the little preparation really worked for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this little series, this best of 5 versus MaxPax, and let me know in the comment section what you thought about it, and I'll see you next time on whatever I upload. Have a great rest of the day, everybody. Take care, and bye-bye.